Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace.
The tiny microphone battle continues today with the DJI Mic Mini kit, which is basically just a miniature version of their incredibly popular DJI Mic 2 kit. Now, there will be a DJI Mic Mini versus Rode wireless micro versus Lark M2 comparison video. Like that, I'll for sure make that video. Today though, we are really just looking like, how does this compare to this kit, just like its little brother, and all of the features that come with this tiny kit. Now, the nice thing about this charging case is that yes, it does hold 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, as well as the USB-C dongle for your iPhone or a lightning adapter for your older iPhones, although the lightning adapter does not come with it. If you have a lightning adapter phone, you gotta buy that extra. But this actually holds the 2 transmitters with the windscreens on and the 3.5 millimeter cable. So right now I have the 3.5 millimeter cable hooked up with the receiver to my camera. All of that plus the windscreens fit inside of this case. That's something that even the DJI Mic 2 system can't say. One of the things that drives me nutty with this system is that the windscreens can't stay on and I can't close the lid. It drives me nuts. Although this case system, it is kind of what makes the DJI mic system so dang good, is just like, I don't know, it's just very like all in one. And with their mini system, they basically just made a small version of the Mic 2 kit. Except now when you pull the transmitter out, this thing is teeny tiny. Look how small it is on my shirt compared to the Mic 2. Like the Mic 2 is already an incredibly small microphone, and then you put this thing next to it and you're like, wow. The Mic 2 looks a little chonky. And the transmitter all by itself, if you take off the windscreen, you take off the magnetic bit, just the clippy bit with microphone. This is 10 grams right here. You add 4 more grams for the magnet to go on there, and about a gram to add on the windscreen. I just keep these windscreens on at all times. Like even on the Mic 2, windscreens at all, you just never know when there's gonna be like a little and then it crackles your audio. Let's hear though how it compares to the DJI Mic 2, its bigger brother. Let's just do like an audio test. This is the straight audio of this microphone while I tell you about today's sponsor, which once again is Squarespace. If somehow you do not already know about Squarespace, which would be crazy at this point, they are the all-in-one website building platform that I've used for the past 11 years for my photography business. And again, the reason that I originally went with them is I'm a photographer, now YouTuber. I'm not a web developer, but with Squarespace, I can have a professional website super easy, and I control everything. I don't have to reach out to a web designer or web programmer to change anything on my website. If I want to change a photo or text, I can do it from my phone from the Squarespace app. But now setting up your Squarespace website is easier than ever with their Blueprint AI. Blueprint AI basically means you go in there, you answer like 6 or 7 questions, you choose a color palette, and then it builds you a website for you. Like your website is done. Now you just go in, you swap in your photos, you swap in your videos, put your text in there, and it's that simple to build a website. And everything is on Squarespace. You can accept payments through Squarespace payments. You can do your domain through Squarespace domain. Everything that you need for a professional website is done with Squarespace. But the best part is that there is a totally free trial. So you can go in there, you can build out your entire Squarespace website, see all the different tools that they offer, see if it's a right fit for you. And when you're ready to go live, use code David Manning for 10% off at checkout. Thank you Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, but also all year. Squarespace has been a partner with me all year. They've supported this channel and supported videos like this for you guys. Very cool of you, Squarespace. Okay, how do those two sound against each other? If they sounded like pretty close, I mean, I'm gonna be kind of blown away. The Mic Mini kit is $169, while the Mic 2 system, I think is $369? $349. $349 for the Mic 2 kit and $169 for the Mic Mini kit. If they sound the same, that would be amazing. Now, the battery life on this thing is 11.5 hours built into the transmitter, but then the case gives you 3.5 additional charges. So they're saying 48 hours total on the microphones, and I think that the receiver gets like an hour less charge than the I don't know. It's a long time on these microphones. If you're ever out talking for more than 11.5 hours, what are you doing? Very cool with that too though is that if you are dead, like for some reason the transmitter is dead, you pop it in the case and a 5-minute charge will give you an hour of battery life. So that quick charge functionality built into the transmitters, that is incredibly helpful. As far as range goes, let's turn you sideways a little bit here. The claimed range on these things is 400 meters. Now 400 meters, it's like 1,300 something feet. That is a ridiculous amount of range and something that, again, you would never be 1,300 feet or 400 meters from your camera. Right now I'm like 40, 50 feet. If I go back here a little further, yeah, this is like as far as I could ever imagine you being from your camera. The reason though that you want that much range, the reason that hearing, oh, 400 meters of range, that's so cool. Well, it just means that you have a very robust signal. And because these do not have built-in recording, it means that if the signal cuts out, like you've lost that audio. So having 400 meters means that right now I'm about, I don't know, 100-ish feet from the camera. If I turn around, if I go sideways, if something was to block that signal, because I'm only that far away, the signal is robust enough to go 1,300 feet. It means that you don't have to worry about cutouts as much. Now, that is still something to think about with all of these tiny microphones is a tiny microphone does not have internal recording. So on the DJI Mic 2, even if like somehow this completely cut out, I completely lost signal, the internal recording is still recording that audio. And if I was in my camera and I was like, it cut out, I could always jump over to that. Something to note again on all of these tiny microphones. Let's get some better light. There we go. Now, in addition to no built-in recording, there's also no lav input. So this microphone will always be on you. I mean, it's tiny, so I don't think you really have to worry about it, but this is the microphone that you're dealing with. You can't like hook up a Sennheiser, like super expensive microphone to the system. How the mic is how you get it. Now, one other really cool thing about this being a DJI product is obviously these tiny microphone kits, they're designed for creators. So this thing with that receiver can plug straight into my cell phone. How I think a lot of people are gonna be using these tiny microphones. The receiver can go straight into my camera right now, which again, this is the audio that you're hearing right now, but these can also wirelessly pair with the DJI Pocket 3, the Osmo Action 5 Pro, and the Osmo Action 4 without a receiver at all. So just from here, I can pair both of these to my Pocket 3 and have 2 channels going without a receiver plugged into the Pocket 3, just wirelessly going in, the Pocket 3 and the Osmo Action 5. That's a huge benefit to being DJI and being part of the DJI ecosystem, is their microphones working with their cameras, no receivers needed. And then with the receiver plugged into your camera, you do have auto on-off functionality. So turn your camera on, receiver comes on, turn your camera off, receiver goes off. So that helps a lot with battery life. If you're moving between locations, you're turning your camera off between those locations. You don't have to sit there and turn off the power on each of them. It just does it all by itself. And then in the app, the DJI Mimo app, you can go in there and change things on these microphones. So I can make them stereo pair, which means that both of them will record to my camera merged. I can split them into a mono so that I have left channel and right channel between the microphones. Right now, this is a separate channel than this microphone is, so that if I have these on 2 different people, one person talks louder than the other, in post, I can level those 2 out using those separate tracks. And then the last mode that you can put it in is mono with safety track, which means that you're gonna record just one transmitter. It's gonna record to the left channel, your normal volume, and then to the right channel, a lower dB safety track, so that if you do peak, that safety track will always be there. You can jump over to it, cut in that piece of audio, and you haven't lost anything to clipping. It does also have auto limiting built in, so like that's one of the features that I have turned on. So it's trying to auto limit so that I don't clip. But again, if you did clip, you would have that safety track just in case. But most importantly, how does it sound? $169 for a 2 microphone, 1 receiver kit inside of the DJI case. Again, it's just kind of a miniature version of the DJI Mic 2 case. The windscreens, the magnet, everything can fit inside that case. It works with Pocket 3, works with Action 5. Pretty impressive. But again, the most important thing is how does it sound? This is an incredibly windy, incredibly noisy environment with waves crashing. How did it do? You tell me. How it sounds. My mouth stopped working. It's like right halfway through that one, man, my mouth just stopped working.